Here's my quick video, basically on onions. I don't know a lot about them other than, as a kid, the smell of them used to make me feel sick when they was cooked with certain steaks or liver. Didn't really like them. Of course, most people like sweet onions versus the hotter onions. But I heard a while ago, it's even as of a couple years ago, they said to be careful with onions because it's not good to eat them after they've sat out or even in the fridge like overnight. And I don't know all the particulars about it. If you do, let me know in the comments because apparently not only do the onions absorb a lot of stuff, something about they can go bad rather quickly, which is kind of weird once they've been cut, especially the thin ones. So I mean, there was this recommendation. I don't even remember where it was from, but they recommended to be careful with the onions that you leave out even just like one day. Used onions, they're just out for one day, which I always thought was kind of weird because other stuff they don't worry about even if it's refrigerated, but stuff like that. I've heard a little bit about mushrooms, but more so I was surprised with the onions. And I know before when I've eaten like sandwiches that are like a day old, and sometimes maybe it didn't make you feel that well, and it's been refrigerated, and some of them always had those onions on there. So it's something that really made me wonder and think after I saw that, because if you've eaten a variety of food or subs and stuff like that, that's from like the vending companies or the gas stations or like the pre-made ones from the deli, and then like, wow, this sandwich is really good, and then the next day you're like, wow, I didn't feel so good after I ate that. You kind of like, is there a chance it was the onions? Because after I heard that, I started to think back to where. So now there's a lot of times if there's onions left on something from like cut sandwich, not the cooked onions. I haven't had no issues with that I know of, but like from sandwiches and stuff like that, I'll peel them off and throw them away. But if they were left on there, I'll still peel them off and throw them away. But usually I'll do it before I even put it in the fridge. Because after I heard that, I'm like, wow. I wonder how many times people might have, if this is true, might have got sick or just felt a little sick, and it was from the onions. And it's like, wow, what the heck? Something else to think about. All the things out there, and people are like, oh, you can't believe this and that. But when I hear something like that, and I track back in my mind of times I didn't feel good after I've eaten food that was one day old. I mean, maybe you can always buy fresh food, but, a lot of times I'll eat food a second day. If I buy too many sandwiches, I'm not throwing it away. Things going in the fridge. I'm eating it tomorrow. Sometimes I've eaten it the third day, especially if you put that sandwich in a plastic bag or a shopping bag and wrap it tight. Even with your donuts, people that buy those or other pastries, sometimes I'll put them in an airtight container or wrap that box in a plastic bag, and you'd be surprised how much longer those things stay fresh. So, your subs, your sandwiches, your bakeries, your pastries, and there's many times in the summertime we'll even put the stuff in the fridge for sure. For sure, sandwiches always go in the fridge. We even keep our peanut butter and jelly in the fridge with our once they're made up. Usually. So I don't know. It's just other thoughts. Why did this spin off from onions? Who knows? But what made me think about it? Who knows? It's just something else to consider when you're eating food that's a second day old, or if they're not using fresh onions, it's something to consider, especially the ones that are absorbent and not pickled. So something to consider. All right. Well, have a good one. Hope you liked the video. Give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, a share, a like again. All right. Thanks. Have a good one.